So Roblox just announced some massive changes. Starting off, and as announced earlier in the month, Roblox has an additional efforts to keep young users safe on Roblox. Anyone under the age of 13 can no longer chat with other players outside of game. So this in of itself is a huge change. If you're under 13, you can no longer communicate with anyone if you're not playing a game. But Roblox also just announced this right here. In 2025, under 13 users, so anyone under the age of 13, will need parental permission to chat in experiences or in game. Now, this is a massive change, essentially meaning that if your account is under the age of 13, you can't use chat anymore. Roblox News tweeted this too, saying beginning early next year, Roblox users under 13 will need parental permission to communicate with other users in experiences. Now, all of this comes from an article that was published this morning by The Verge. It's a news website. And normally I don't read articles, but there's actually some pretty big stuff in here, so we're gonna read it. It says Roblox will restrict kids under 13 from chatting outside of games. Bear with me here. It says Roblox is starting to roll out some recently announced child safety features, and the updates include new limitations for how users under 13 can communicate. Beginning on Monday, that is today, younger than 13 users won't be able to DM players outside of games or experiences, and they'll need parental permission to be able to send in-game DMs, though this change won't be fully implemented until the first quarter of 2025, which is the first 4 months of next year. Now, why is Roblox doing this? These are some pretty big changes, right? Well, it's actually because of this right here, and we've talked about this. The changes follow recent reports highlighting instances of Roblox failing to protect children. A big article from Bloomberg described how preds on the platform use chat to communicate with the kids. And a report from the Hindenburg Research described Roblox as, well, yeah, that's pretty bad. These new restrictions on chat will build on Roblox's automatic filters intended to block users from sharing personal information. But Roblox isn't stopping there. There was more changes. Roblox says in addition to these changes, Roblox is also rolling out its previously announced accounts for parents and caregivers, which will allow parents to remotely manage a child's screen time limit. So now, yeah, your parent from their own device, phone, tablet, can manage how long you can play Roblox each day. But there's more. Roblox is also starting to use content labels to describe experiences instead of rating experiences for specific age groups. What this means is instead of a game being 9+ or 13+ or all ages, it'll instead say that this game is mild or minimal or moderate. In fact, as I'm looking right now, it looks like Roblox already made these changes. Look, so this is Rivals, and it says maturity level is mild. Doors, maturity level, minimal. Dress to Impress, maturity level, minimal. But if we go to a game like Combat Warriors that has blood in it, we can see the maturity level is moderate. And it says users under the age of 9 will only be able to access experiences with minimal or mild content labels unless a parent gives permission. So essentially, what all these changes are doing is unless your parent comes over to the computer, verifies that they are your parent, an adult, and clicks yes, you ain't chatting no more in Roblox games. You ain't playing no moderate violence Roblox games. And also, there's actually one more thing. We talked about this before too, but yeah, Roblox is stopping users from under 13 from accessing social hangout experiences. So if you're under 13, you also can't play social hangout games anymore. And yes, that does include Please Donate. Now, these are some massive changes, but as that article mentioned a few months ago, this came out. Basically, a giant news story on Roblox's issues with moderation and how young kids are being tricked into, you know, some pretty bad stuff. I mean, there's some bad games out there on Roblox. Like, let's just be real. This is a big article. All right, let's be 100%. This is a big article. This is how big the problem is on Roblox. Like, it keeps going. It keeps scrolling. Now, I imagine if you're under 13 or if your account is under 13, you're probably going to be pretty upset by these changes because it's going to heavily restrict what you can and can't do on Roblox. But I think for the sake of Roblox, for the sake of kids on Roblox, these are some pretty good changes that kind of needed to be done. Now, let's talk about the controversy. I'm in a little bit of controversy, kinda. You see, this guy tweeted and said, nah, KreekCraft's YouTube banner is AI, and yeah, that was the YouTube banner that I put up yesterday. And I saw this and I was like, no. What do you mean? I don't use AI. Nah, no, this is not AI. It's a promotional poster for an event coming up in December done by a fairly well-known artist in the streaming space. Details and announcement closer to December. And here's the full image here, right? It looks pretty good. I mean, at first glance, right? And that's when this Twitter user here, Bells for Brains, they retweeted and basically said, this is in no way intending to come off as mean, but yeah, there's no way that this isn't AI or AI filter. And that got me curious, right? Everyone's saying it's AI. I'm like, no. There's no way, right? I hired an artist for this. There's no way it's AI. Let me look into it. Now, for a little bit of pretext, a little bit of context, I'm doing an event in December called 31 Days of Creekmas, where I'm going to give out 100,000 Robux every single day throughout the month of December, right? Pretty cool. And I wanted to create a poster to promote the event, and so that's why we hired an artist. Here's actually the full poster right here, 31 Days of Creekmas, right? There it is. And we found this one artist with a 5-star shop on Fiverr, hundreds of 5-star reviews. Really well credited guy. He actually does work for movie posters in Hollywood. He's done some pretty big movie posters. And so we reached out and, described what we wanted, paid him, was like, hey, can you make a poster for the 31 Days of Creekmas? Now, I have some things blacked out here because I don't want to leak who this person is. I'll say why later on. And there's also some personal details in here, right? And about a week or so later, we got our delivery. Again, we've got some things redacted and censored here just for privacy, and I don't want to leak anything. And here's the package. This is what we ordered. We got a bunch of different files here. We got the logo. We got a PNG. We got an Adobe Illustrator file. We got a PSD file, source files, everything we need. And so after everyone tweeting me saying like, hey, this is AI, I decided to dig into the source file. Now, normally I don't. Normally I wouldn't because this is a well-credited artist. Why would I need to look at the source file? I'm not an artist. I'm not going to be able to do anything. So here's the poster right here. Now let's just go ahead and disable all the different parts, right? Over here on the side, we have all the different layers that the artist provided us, right? And we can take a look. Here is the background. And I got to looking a little bit and I was like, wait a minute here. This tree looks really out of place, right? Like if we zoom in a little bit, it kind of looks like the tree was cut out from somewhere else. There's some white right there, some squiggly lines right there. Like there's a whole white border on this ornament that definitely shouldn't be there. Some more white right there and right there. Like this tree was definitely cut out and pasted in from somewhere else. You can see some more squigglies right there. And actually, yeah, it was, because check this out. Boom! There's the original tree right there. There it is. We can also disable the presence here. Boom. So this right here was the original background provided. And if we take a close look, we can definitely see, yeah, this was definitely AI generated. Look at this. You can tell because like, what in the world is that? What is this? Like, these are supposed to be ornaments, and nobody would draw like this, right? Like, it just wouldn't be a thing. This is clearly AI generated. And it looks like the artist here just pasted a tree off of Google or something and put it on top of the image. And I'm actually pretty sure this tree is also AI generated, because if we look at some of it, like, why is there green coming in here? Like, why does this not have a string? Like, that ball is just hanging on air. But anyway, then we enable the gifts here, right? Take a look at these. These are also clearly a completely different style than everything else in the image. This is probably also copy and pasted from somewhere else. And in fact, you can see it is. It was. Here's another squiggly line where whoever, again, I don't want to say who the artist is. I'll say why in a minute. But we can see that it was cut out. Right? It was cut out from somewhere else. The artist did not draw this. And if we go to my character here, even the character's got some weird stuff on it, right? Why is this Robux card just completely transparent? There's a hole in the middle of the Robux card. And I mean, I can go on and on. There's a whole bunch of other stuff too, but you get the idea. And again, after looking at all this, I was shocked. This is a 5-star artist with one of the top shops on Fiverr. Someone who works on actual Hollywood movie posters. There's no way someone would try and do this, right? Like, this is just unprofessional. Not only is it unprofessional, but it's sloppy, right? Like, I could do a better job of cutting out this tree. I mean, look at the tree. Look at it. They just pasted it on top of the other tree. You can see the other tree from behind the copy and pasted tree. I'm getting heated. I'm sorry. So we reached out to the artist and we're like, hey, what's going on with this? Like, what happened here? The artist claims that it's not AI, but does admit that some pieces in the art were copy and pasted from somewhere else. I'm guessing some of these pieces were just found on Google. I don't know, right? There's a million different things that could have happened here. Either way, some of this is definitely AI generated. And also, I paid someone to draw me an art piece for this Roblox event I'm doing. And clearly, they did not draw an art piece. So whether they copy and pasted it off of somewhere else or they AI generated it, doesn't matter. I didn't really get what I paid for. Now, some people on Twitter want me to, throw the ad of the guy. I'm not going to do that simply because, well, two reasons. Number one, we're currently talking with Fiverr to get this whole thing figured out, disputed. Maybe I can get my money back. I paid I think it was like $250 or something. And also, number two, like I said, this is a very well-credited artist with a lot of clients who also works with a lot of creators, like the Sidemen. This is someone that works, with some high-level creators. If I'm going to call anyone out, I got to make sure all my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted because I ain't about to go to court over a $250 Roblox art piece, okay? But yeah, surprise. December, 31 days of Creekmas. This isn't really how I hope to announce this, but 100,000 Robux every day in December, so that's cool. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, the poster did its job. We got the announcement. Just not quite how I wanted. Subscribe for 100,000 Robux.